Do I want to knead? No, I don't want to knead. Hi friends, and welcome back to another video by my burnt orange. Thank you for watching our bread video last week. As with everything, there is always an answer for a question you might ask. So you have no machine and you can't be bothered to knead. No problem. You can make no-knead bread, and that's what we're going to do in today's video. Simply mix 300 grams of plain flour to 300 grams of whole wheat flour. I tend to mix the two because the whole wheat flour we have in the market here is very whole, as in it has so much bran, so it works well when combined with other flours. And here's one loaf I made using 75% whole wheat and 25% plain flour. You can experiment with different ratios and get a lovely result. Add 2 tablespoons sugar, 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and give it a mix. Add between 425 and 450 milliliters of water. I say this because every flour is different, and I find that when whole wheat flour is used, it takes a whole lot more moisture to form a dough. So you're going to have to do it a little bit by eye because every flour is different. Now you need to add 2 tablespoons of oil. The oil helps to make the bread light. If you want to skip the oil, there is no problem. You will end up with a very crusty bread, which is beautiful. So as you continue mixing, you can switch to hands. The hands make it easier to incorporate the moisture into the dough. I'm not kneading here, I'm just trying to mix it to incorporate it. The next thing I'm going to do is leave it to rest for anything from 4 to 12 hours. The longer, the better. I will say that whole wheat ferments very easily. So here I'm just doing a test to show you how inelastic it is. This is before it has rested for a few hours. After several hours, we're going to check it again and you'll see it stretching a little bit more. Please note that whole wheat, because of the amount of bran in there, doesn't stretch as much as plain flour. Oil your bowl, put the dough in, and then cover it with some cling film to rest for several hours. It takes patience to do this. I would recommend when you do want to make bread, just mix your ingredients together in the morning so you can bake a loaf at the end of the day, or at night so that you can let it rest and then bake it in the morning for a freshly baked loaf. Here we are after just a couple of hours. You can see how the nature of the dough is transforming. It's stretching a little bit more, but not quite there. So what we're going to do is just leave it to rest for a few hours. I did this just to demonstrate that the dough actually does transform. The gluten actually develops without you having to knead. And here you go. It has been several hours. Remember, you can let it rise for up to 12 hours. I'm just punching it down, not too much, and then bring out the dough onto a clean counter for shaping to go into your baking pan. Look at that. It's a lot stretchier than it was before. So all you're going to do now is pull the dough together into the shape of your baking pan. I have a loaf tin, so I want to get a bit of a sausage shape on my dough, or a rectangular shape. and you don't have to use any special method. So long as you can bring it together tight and firm and fit it into a pan, you'll be absolutely fine. Cover it for the final proof until it has risen to double in size. Bake in a hot oven at about 220 degrees for 50 minutes. And voila! A perfectly baked loaf of brown bread. And if you knock on the top or the sides, it should sound hollow.